Mnahitaji tu ngoma na vile naona mnacheza hapo ndani. Chezeni tu hapo ndani. I don't know what's over me. You must know. Okay. Ladies, one time. Hebu fungua kamera yako na unaweka pia. Kuna mnyamaka picha. Ukifungua kamera ndio kazi yako inaonekana. Hakuna. Wapi wenye ameweka picha hapo? Kama kwa sema. Sina picha hapa. One time say, my baby heart, my baby who, my baby heart it is. Unaona picha yangu hapo, hebu angalia. Yes.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Oh, thank you. So let us begin. Should someone pray for us? Any Christian to pray? Yes.
I'm ready, sir.
Yeah, please pray.
A'udhu billahi minashaitanir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Arrahmanir rahim. Maliki yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdinas siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim ghairil maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin. Amen.
Amen.
That's wonderful.
Amen.
For pairs. Maybe Chef, you can introduce yourself. Yes, your name, please, and the course you are doing. Yeah, so let us have a look from where we did, where we stopped last session. Yeah, so this another, we are co-teaching with Mr. Barasa is engaged somewhere with being an exam coordinator. Maybe you allow me to mute everyone? You allow me to mute everyone, please?
No.
Now, if you don't keep quiet, I will mute you. I mute everyone.
Don't mute us.
No. Okay.
Don't mute us.
Just
Yeah,
mute,
okay.
just mute. Just mute.
Or you mute yourselves. Or you mute yourselves.
Yes, sir.
Mute
Let's
yourselves. Then.
Mute everyone so that we get the lesson clear.
Yes, you either mute yourselves or I mute you by force.
Just mute by force.
Hapana, kuna watu hapa wanakuja wakieleza watu mute sisi.
Okay, last week we covered computer hardware, which we mentioned that it includes physical parts of a computer, such as the case. We identified that we have various types of computer case. We have the desktop case, and then also we have the tower case. The desktop usually is smaller in size, lies flat on the desk. That's why it's called a desktop. Then we have a tower. Okay. Now let me just mute everyone. Just mute everyone. Okay, yeah, I've muted everyone. So I will unmute you maybe at another time. Yeah, so we mentioned that we have two types of computer case, and we said the computer case, this is a housing. A computer case, maybe if someone asks you, a computer case is the housing that houses the components inside the system unit. So inside this computer case, we realize that we have various components, such as the central processing unit, we have the memories, we have the motherboard, have the power supply, have fans, and many components like speakers are found inside the system unit. And also we were able to identify input devices. These are peripheral devices that capture data or controls the functioning of the computer. Then also we mentioned about the output devices, which now displays the information on the computer, be it a monitor, a printer, that displays whatever informations contain the computer. So inside the system unit, we identified we have the motherboard, CPU, main memory, expansion cards, power supply, optical disk drive, and the hard disk. These are some of the few main components that are found inside the system unit. And also we were able to identify computer memories that is divided into primary memory and secondary memory. And we say the main memory holds instructions and data when a program is being executed. This when a program is launched, or a program or any app that is running on the computer usually dwells in the main memory. While auxiliary or secondary memory, it holds data and programs permanently. These are programs installed or data that has been saved in the computer, usually stored permanently in the secondary memory. So secondary memory provides a long-term storage, while main memory provides a short-term memory. And we were able to explain the characteristics of the main memory, this primary memory. We say that we have generally two types of primary memory. We have the ROM and RAM. We say that ROM is non-volatile. We say that ROM is non-volatile. Non-volatile means that the coordinates are permanently stored, and in case there's power failure, information is not lost. That's why you say ROM is non-volatile. We say also ROM stores instructions. This is BIOS. Hope you have a piece of paper. ROM stores instructions that are called BIOS. What does BIOS mean? BIOS means basic input and output system. What does BIOS mean? BIOS means basic input and output system. So the ROM usually holds these instructions that were programmed during the manufacture of that computer or that digital device. Yeah, so every vendor or every manufacturer has his own or their own BIOS. Like when you power on HP laptop, when you power on different types of laptops, you realize that the way they function, the way they work, they differ because they contain different types of BIOS. So maybe through the chat, can I know how many models of computers do you know? How many models of computers do you know? Through the chat, let me just know how many models of computers do you know, so that we can identify what are the BIOS, and as we say that BIOS, these are a piece of instructions that are mounted on the computer during manufacturing on the ROM of a computer. So through the chat, let me see how many types of or how many models of computer have you come across. So yeah, we have Dell, HP, yes, Samsung, yes, Lenovo. So yeah, the answers are coming in. So you realize that these types of computer, a computer is known as HP, a computer is known as Dell, a computer is known as Samsung, a computer is known as Lenovo because of the BIOS of the manufacturer. So these are some of the computers that are available. We have Fujitsu. Have you come about Fujitsu? MacBook. Why do you forget MacBook? MacBook. So you realize that this computer, yes, someone has mentioned about Toshiba, yeah, Lenovo, yeah, HP. What does HP means? Yeah, you know, we are here for learning. What does HP means? Someone, what does HP means? Yeah, so you realize that a computer is called HP, a computer is called Dell, a computer is called Samsung, a computer is called Toshiba, a computer is known as Fujitsu. We have even Hisense because of the BIOS. So when you power on the computer system, the first instructions that usually load in the main memory, these are the BIOS. When you power on the computer system, the first piece of instructions that are usually loaded into the memory during the boot process. It's usually known as the BIOS. So the BIOS usually scan the computers to check if the input and output systems are well set, so that it ushers in to other programs like the system softwares and the application softwares. So someone has mentioned JB. I don't know which type of laptops that. We have even others that are locally made. So we have some locally made laptops. Taifa, have you heard of Taifa? Yeah, so we have many, and this, yes, we have Apple, that's a good, good, yes. So even we have Sony, Apple, Sony. So someone saying that has a problem with sound. I advise that student to join with we have provided a link for Zoom. We have provided a link for YouTube. So also let me go to YouTube because I have some guys that are on YouTube so that I see what are these guys getting us or not. Yeah, let me see. Let me just check. I'm just checking on something before I continue. Let me just check on something before I continue. So as we continue, I want you to write down this question. And I think you will respond to it. You'll discuss with your colleague. Yeah, I see on live, we are on YouTube, we are live. The likes of Bani Sandanche, Silva Asiei, Samuel Mbugua, James Nyabiti, Alexandra Vivian, they are live on YouTube. Hey, yeah. So before we continue, I want you to write down this question. Let me just type this question here. Describe the booting process of a computer. Yeah, you know, when you say booting, some of you, booting sounds differently because maybe you have already been booted. So, want you to describe the booting process of a computer. Let me give you 10 marks. Don't know how I'll mark this. No, you'll give your friend to mark that. Describe the booting process of a computer. So when you power on the computer system, the computer usually go through the booting process. Booting process involves loading basic input and output system. And these instructions are usually stored on the ROM. So sometimes when you boot, you hear a computer's beeping, a computer is beeping, computer is producing some noise, a computer is producing some funny lights. This indicates that there's a booting hitch that maybe needs to be corrected. So, and that's the functions of the BIOS. So let me add you another question. Describe the function of BIOS during the booting process. So we shall take these questions on the discussion forum on the course. We shall take these questions on the discussion forum on the course. So after this, I will post these questions in the discussion forum so that we get engagement well. Then we have what's called volatile memory, which is now random access memory. Random access memory, it is volatile. It's volatile in nature, and also it's dynamic. Being volatile in nature means that the contents of RAM get lost when there's a blackout. It means that when you shut down a computer, all the components on the RAM get lost. That's why I say that RAM is volatile. Also, RAM, it's dynamic. The content of the RAM keeps on changing. So we can say that the content that are stored on the RAM, it is usually dynamic in nature, while the contents that are stored on ROM, it is static. So maybe in exam, they can ask you, right? In exam, they can ask you, differentiate between RAM and ROM. Let me add you this another question. Differentiate between RAM and ROM. And they can give you, like, let us say a lecturer is giving you 8 marks. I know earning 8 marks is not a joke. Okay? So you need to structure your questions very well. So these are some of the 3 questions that I'm posting to you that are worthy for discussion process. Can give it this one also like 8 marks. So I'm even giving a hint to exams. Okay? Yeah. So that's what maybe I want you to have a look at it. So between the CPU, when you have a look at this diagram, between the CPU and the RAM, we have what's called a cache memory. What's a cache memory? A cache memory, this is a memory that usually stored, next to the CPU, so that it acts as a drawer, so that contents keeps on switching from the cache, the CPU, and from the CPU, the random access memory. So another question, what is cache memory? What's cache memory? Another question worthy discussing at your free time. We are in the university, and when you are here, you are supposed to do a lot of research. Then question number 5. Question number 5. Here comes question number 5. Using a well-labeled diagram, discuss the components of a computer system. Using a well-labeled diagram, discuss the components of a computer system, 20 marks. And getting 20 marks is not a joke. It's not a walk in the park. You need to organize yourself well. So question number 1, I think you have a paper, or you can take a screenshot of this if you can. Question number 1, describe the booting process of a computer, 10 marks. Question number 2, describe the functions of BIOS during the booting process, 8 marks. Question number 3, differentiate between RAM and ROM, 8 marks. Question number 4, what is cache memory? This cache memory, I can give it like 4 marks. right? Then question number 5, using a well-labeled diagram, discuss the components of a computer system. Let me give this one 12 marks. Let me see, 10, 18, 18 plus 8, that's 16, 26, 26 plus 4, that is 30. Then I can give this one like 10 marks, so that it should be out of 40. And your friend will be able to mark this assignment. This is a self-paced, we call it a homework. But now that our homes are very far away, we can call them as a takeaway, just to make you be conversant when it comes to the computer system. So I hope you have noted down these questions. There are 5 questions that needs you to discuss with your friend during your free time and make some summary out of this. Then next, we are going to discuss computer software. We have covered a lot on computer hardware. Let us switch to computer software. And maybe someone through the chat, what is a computer software? Through the chat, let me pose a question. What is a software? What is a software? Let us go through the chat and see what's the software, what's a software. Let me just go through the chat. Keep the chats coming. So someone is saying that computer software is an intangible part of a computer. So out of 4, I give you a half. Yeah, a computer software is the intangible part of a computer. Out of 4, I give you a half. Computer software are instructions that guide a computer on what to do. That's good from Felix Salasha. Out of 4, I give you 2 marks. Joshua, you have said that maswali yamekupita. Okay, I will display that again. Otieno Rivaldo, software are intangible parts for a computer. Out of 4, I give you a half. So I don't know, yeah, it is intangible part of a computer. No, even Holy Spirit is intangible. Okay, you should be able to justify your answer well. It's a set of instructions that guide a computer. This from Ronnie. Software refers to a collection of programs, instructions, and data that enable a computer or other electronic device to perform specific tasks or functions. Give you 3 out of 4. Mike Nalianya, computer software is intangible data. Wrong. Software is untouchable components for a computer. I give a half, 0.5 out of 4. So our software is a set of instructions that enable a computer to perform a task. Yeah, the answers are coming. The answers are coming. I want to give someone 4 marks. Most of you, the higher can give is 3 out of 4. A set of instructions that make the computer perform various tasks, that is 2 out of 4. Let me check on YouTube and see. Let me check from YouTube and see from Alexander Jebet. It's called that tangible part. Either Okwisa software is a set of instructions that cause a computer to perform one or more tasks. That's good. Computer software is intangible internal system of a computer. No, avoid the word intangible. Avoid the word intangible. Use another term. Use set of instructions. We want you to, when defining a computer, use set, when defining a software, I want you to use a set of instructions and add your explanation. Zubira Diambo, set of instructions that make the computer perform various tasks. From Morana Omi, computer software is a set of instructions that tell a computer how to perform specific tasks. It includes programs, applications, and operating systems. Yeah, Mora, I can give you 4 out of 4. Mora Naomi, let me repeat your answer. Computer software is a set of instructions that tell a computer how to perform specific tasks. And so she's also giving examples. It includes programs, applications, and operating systems that enable the hardware to function. Yeah, that's a very correct answers. Let me see another from Felix too. Software is a set of instructions, data or programs used to operate computers and execute specific tasks. Shitanda Amos. Shitanda Amos is responding to cache memory. Cache memory is a small, high-speed type of volatile computer memory that provides high-speed data access to a processor and stores frequently used computer programs. That's wonderful. Let me repeat that one again from Shitanda Amos. Shitanda Amos defining cache memory as a small, high-speed type of volatile computer memory that provides high-speed data access to a processor and stores frequently used computer programs. Brian Korir saying that software is a set of computer programs and associated documentation and data. Okay, yeah, very good answers. Very good answers coming in. So I hope most of you have got the best definition of a computer. So we can go back again. List categories of computer software. You know, we are learning from each other. So if you umekaa tu hapo umeng'edhia, my friend, nasikia tu lesson imeisha na hakuna kitu umeandika. So another question. List categories of computer software and what are functions of a computer software. No, I like students learning from each other. This behavior of waiting for notes or handouts from lecturers, I think should stop. We are in a university where you need to learn, to research and discuss and defend your answers. So list categories of a computer software and also give functions of a computer software. Twende mbio mbio, twende mbio mbio. Twende mbio mbio, twende mbio mbio. So yeah, the answers are coming. Let me go through the answers. So we have system software and application software. Yeah, these are the two main categories of computer software. BE, BE, we discourage this. BE 0015. Stop using chat GPT. Okay. Stop using chat GPT. Use your main memory. I want you to use your main memory, your brains. I know you guys, you are very brave. You came here because you are smart people. Avoid using Google and avoid using smart chat GTP. That is being too lazy. No, don't be too lazy to reason. Don't be too lazy to think. Yeah. Sometimes try to engage yourself. Try to think outside the box before you Google or you go to chat. So let me go through that again. Hey. Yeah, the answers are coming. System software, application software, programming software, utility software. So these are some of the types of computer software or categories. Yeah, so we were talking about computer software can be broadly categorized. This from Roger Stindy. Have the operating system, which manages hardware and provides services for computer software, system software. I think operating system is a system software, right? Then we have application software that are designed to perform specific tasks like WPS, web browser, graphic design. How utility softwares perform tasks related to system management, like antivirus, disk cleanups, backup software. Yeah, I see some of you are getting it. And you can go through the charts and also note something. If you don't have any answer, just go through the chart, read through the chart, make some summary, compare notes, because we are learning. Even there's the lesson is almost over because we have learned a lot. So yeah. Yeah, most of you are getting it. Most of you are getting it. So software is a collection of computer programs and related data that provides the instructions for telling a computer what to do and how to do it. Software is a collection of computer programs and related data that provides the instructions telling a computer what to do and how to do it. Software usually acts as an interface between the user and the computer hardware, and it is responsible for controlling, integrating, and managing the hardware components of a computer system and for accomplishing specific tasks. So mainly we have two types of computer software, system software, and application software. Although we have utility programs that we can add this list. Can add on this list on utility programs. Then also we can add on compilers. Someone mentioned on compilers. Compilers, we can term this or can group in programming languages. Programming languages. So we have compilers and interpreters. I don't want to go deep into this because So you can write down this definition. You can write this, you can note down this definition that a software is a collection of computer programs and related data that provide the instructions for telling a computer what to do and how to do it. Then software also, we are trying to give a definition of a software and also giving the functions of a software. So we have said software acts as an interface between the user and the computer hardware, and it is responsible for controlling, integrating, and managing the hardware components of a computer system, and also for accomplishing specific tasks. So let us maybe have a deeper look into computer software. Let us have a deeper look into computer software. Let me try to zoom a bit. So as we mentioned, what are some of the components of a computer system? So in exam, maybe we have two confusing questions. They can ask you, what are some of the components of a computer system? And maybe they can tweak and ask you, what are some of the elements of a computer system? These are two different answers. These are two different questions that look similar. And I want you also to have a look at it. If they ask you, what are the components of a computer system? And what are some of the elements of a computer system? So a computer system has 4 parts or 4 elements. We have the hardware, software, data, and the user. We say that the hardware, these are visible or tangible parts of the computer, input devices, output devices, a system unit, memory, anything that is tangible, that's fall under the hardware. Then we have also mentioned about software as the piece of instructions that are meant for specific function that guides a computer what to do. Data, this is a piece or maybe piece of chunks that are stored. These are files that are stored in the computer system to be processed. So when you process data, that's why now you get information. And remember, when we are defining a computer system, when you are defining a computer system, we mentioned about data, that a computer systems takes in data, processes data into the information, stores or output the information using output devices. Apart from that, also, we know a computer cannot operate without a user. So we need to have someone behind a computer system so that he controls or he directs the computer on what to do. So those are some of the elements of a computer system. So hardware, as we mentioned, these are tangible parts in the computer. including anything on a computer that can be touched, that falls under computer hardware. Software, on the other hand, these are pieces of instructions or programs that tells the computer what to do. A software can also be called as a program, and we have thousands of programs that are in existence. Data, these are files. These are files or unprocessed information that a computer manipulates on the CPU, then it outputs the output as information. Then users, these are people that operate the computer, and users are the most important part of a computer because we direct and tells the computer on what to do. So as we mentioned earlier, we have steps that are followed when information is being processed. So we have hardware, we have the software, we have data, and also we have users. So first of all, we enter data into the computer through the input devices. Data is processed by the CPU into information. This information can be displayed on the output devices and also can be stored on the secondary memory. So we have 4 categories of computer hardware, as we mentioned earlier. We have the input devices, have the output devices, we have the memory and the processor. These are the very basic fundamental categories of the computer hardware. So we have the CPU, which processes the data. As we mentioned earlier, CPU is the brain of the computer. It has arithmetic and logic unit, Last week we mentioned the function of ALU. We have the control unit, and then also we have some registers. These are some of the basic components that build up the CPU. So CPU carries out information from the program. It manipulates or processes the data. And some of the computers have several CPUs, considering the 4th generation and the 5th generation. That makes these computers, mainly mainframes and supercomputers, to work very fast compared to the previous generation. Also, we mentioned about the memory devices that are used to store data or programs. We mentioned about RAM, which is volatile and dynamic, and also speeds up the functionality of the computer. We mentioned about ROM, which is non-volatile, which stores data permanently and holds the BIOS. And we mentioned that BIOS is a boot instructions. Also, we mentioned about input and output devices that allows the user to interact with the computer. Mainly input devices that accepts data, we have keyboard and mouse. Output devices that now deliver data to the end user, we have monitor, printer, and speakers, although we have the list is long. And some of the devices that can be used as input and output include the touch screen. You can use the touch screen to input data. Also, you can use the touch screen to output information from the computer systems. We have storage. devices. And most of you are confusing between storage devices and memory. So we have computer memory and computer storage. What's the difference between memory and storage? You need to ask yourself, what's the difference between memory and storage? So storage usually holds data and programs permanently, and storage is different from RAM and ROM. We have different types of storage devices, like magnetic storage, where we have the floppy disk, hard drive. We have optical storage, like the CD and DVDs, that stores data permanently. So what are software? As we mentioned earlier, software, it's used to run the hardware. So a computer software usually tells the computer, that's the hardware, what to do. And that's the reason why we purchase computers. A computer without a software is just a box full of metals, cables, and circuitry. So we need a software to run the computer, make sure that the computer is accessible to the user. So it means that without the software, a computer is just a metal, it's just a hardware, a very useless, a tangible part of the computer. So we have two types of two types of softwares, as we mentioned about system software and the application software. So system software is the most important software, and most of you mentioned about example of system software. We have operating systems. Also, we have inside the system software, we have utility programs that helps us manage the hardware well. On the other hand, we have application software. These are software that are programmed, are written by programmers to accomplish a specific task. So we have two types of application software. We have general purpose and specific purpose application software. And most of the common type of application software, we have Microsoft Word, we have PowerPoint, we have Publisher, we have spreadsheets. Yeah, they are meant for a specific purpose. You cannot use a spreadsheet the same way you use PowerPoint. That's why we say application softwares, we have some that are meant for general purpose, and we have some that are meant for specific purposes. Then a computer data, we mentioned about computer data, these are facts that needs to process into meaningful information. So what means that computer usually takes in data, which are facts, then processes this data into meaningful information, and are stored using machine codes that we shall be able to learn later during our next lesson next week. Then data can be organized into files, then be processed by the computer to give out meaningful information. Although we have some computers that are, they can run at their own, they are programmed to run at their own without much influence, much interactivity with the users. So we have the system software and application software. System software, we say it rules the operating system. And also we have some utility programs that usually comes. These utility programs, these are sub-programs that are used to maintain the health of a computer, hardware, and data. So we have some utility programs that help in file management, in disk management, memory management, backup, data recovery, data compressions, and providing security of our computer system like the antivirus. These are also some of the additional utility programs that support the system software of a computer. So application software includes everyday programs that we use. Like we have the Microsoft suite that has the word processor, PowerPoint, spreadsheet, browsers, readers, graphic design. Yeah, very many that support maybe email, web browsers, and antivirus software. So let us continue. Let us continue. So all computers and smart devices all have an operating system. And we said an operating system is a program that controls the computer hardware. It controls the keyboard, mouse, storage devices, and also acts as a link between the user and the computer. So all smart devices like your phone, it has what's called Android. So when someone asks you what type of your phone operating system is, you are supposed to tell that person that my phone is using Android operating system. We have Apple. We have Apple operating system, or we call them iPhone, isn't it? They run on the Apple operating system. So we have this also other gadgets that have their own operating system. Takes them on what to do. So a computer is useless without an operating system. A computer is useless without an operating system. Discuss. These are questions. A computer is useless without an operating system. Discuss. So I'm giving you many questions so that you enlighten yourselves when it comes to this course. So as you have a look at this image, we have at the center of this image, at the center of this image, at the center of this image, as you have seen, we have the softwares. At the outside, we have the hardware. Then between the hardware and the software, we have the operating system. So this image even shows that that even we cannot install a software on a computer without operating system. So it means that operating systems are very fundamental building block of an computer system, right? Yeah, so let us have some look on the functions of an operating system. So what are some of the functions of the operating system? I have displayed them on the screen. You can write them down. You can write them down. You can write them down, please. Functions of the operating system. Sorry for that, Levi. I paused a bit. So these are some of the functions of the operating system. Just note them down. We shall be able to explain well in our next slide. So let me give you 1 minute to note down the functions of the operating system. So if you are not seeing what I'm displaying, if you don't see what I'm displaying, during the orientation, I remember showing you on how to change your orientation. So main functions of the operating system include processor management. So the processor comes from the word processes. Remember, when you are having many programs that are running on the computer, these programs usually create processes. And most of the time, you realize that you are running a lot of processes on the computer system. And these processes are running concurrently. Remember last time we mentioned something concerning multiprocessing? Yeah, so operating system usually manage multiprocessing so that it allows more than one process to run on the CPU. Another function of the memory, another function of the OS is memory management. Memory management, it means that the operating system usually allocates necessary memory to running processes. It allows you to run different programs concurrently. It allows multi-processing, allows multi-programming. and so that to make that the computer is stable, the computer does not hang, and all the programs are running without conflict. Device management, operating system also manage the device, input device. When you plug a mouse, a keyboard, a printer, yeah, a memory card, a flash, an earphone, a camera on a computer. The operating system detects that this is a memory card. It detects that this is a camera. It detects that this is a keyboard. It detects that this is a mouse. It helps a lot when it comes to device management. So you don't have that when you plug a keyboard on a mouse or you plug a keyboard on a computer. So a computer detects that this is a keyboard, does not detect that that's a printer. Okay, so those are some of the when it comes to device management. When it comes to storage management, the operating system usually manages the files that you store on the computer. It enables you to create files, it enables you to create folders, and it creates a table so that when you are searching a particular file or when you are opening a particular program on a computer, it allocates that file or that program a space on the storage memory of that computer. So it enables you to delete a file, it enables you to copy and paste a file, it enables you to format. Yeah. So these are some of the few functions of operating systems when it comes to storage management. When it comes to security management, operating system, as we said, it comes with utility softwares like antivirus. It enables you to detect a malicious software. It enables you to set a password or maybe a fingerprint, a security option on your computer. So it can enable you to create many accounts so that you log in and prevent someone without proper passwords to access the system. So that's some of the functions of the operating system. Last but not least, we have also realized that operating system usually provide a user interface. So it means that without an operating system, you'll not be able to use your computer. So it provides the window, what you see on your phone. That's what the operating system provides. It enables you to manipulate the data through a command line or maybe a graphical user interface. That's the function of the operating system. So in summary, it sorts out where to store data on disk drives. That's memory management. It allows the user to organize files using folders and to copy and delete files. It also assists application softwares to communicate with the hardware. So it allows a word processor document to be printed, saved, and open new files. That is functions of the operating system. It manages the system resources. Remember we mentioned about processor management. So we have said that when it comes to processor management, the OS, it manages system resources, like allocating the CPU time to the task being undertaken. When you say that the operating system assists in memory management, it means that it allows you to organize files in folders, copy, delete, move, paste files in different locations, computer system. Also, in addition to that, it also manages the transfer of data. This also deals with the memory management. It also manages the transfer of data learned from the system peripheral devices. So also it helps in device management. It also provides system security, as we said earlier on. It allocates restricted rights to users to do certain things through usernames and passwords. Classifications of operating systems. How can we classify computer systems? Someone saying that my slide's not clear. No, now it depends on your network, or it depends on your operating system that you are using. Yeah. What are some of the classifications of the operating systems? Operating systems can be categorized into two categories. Operating systems can be categorized. We can use two approaches when categorizing operating systems. Number one, we can categorize OS depending on the user interface. So we have two types of the user interface. We have the command line user interface that you manipulate the computer, you operate the computer through the use of commands. So when I want to open a file, okay, so it means that in the command line user interface, you don't have a desktop. You don't have files that you can look into them in terms of images or icons. So it means that for me to open a file, I need to type a command. For me to shut down a computer, I need to type a command. For me to delete a file, I need to type a command. For me to move a file from one direction to another, I need to type a command. So it's called a command line user interface. So this comes handy when you go back and have a look to those first generation, second generation. You see, most of them, they were running on a command. They didn't have input devices like mouse and keyboard. So that's one category. Another one, when it comes to user interface, we have another one that use graphical user interface. That's GUI. So GUI, this gives you an environment to use the mouse to select items or maybe to command the operations of a computer. So most of the operating systems like Windows usually comes with a desktop. A desktop is what you see on the screen. When you open a screen, you will see some icons. You can be able to access the browser. You can be able to access the music, the gallery. Yeah, these are some of the graphical user interface. So it comes with the graphics that allows you to click on it so that you control the operations of the computer system. Another categorization of the OS, you can categorize OS depending on the number of users it supports in an instance. How many users can operate a computer at once? Okay, so we have a single user operating system. Then we have multi-user operating systems. So a single user operating system, these are like the computer or the phone you are using. You know, we cannot use the same phone at the same time. Unless I use it, then I give you to use it. We cannot use a laptop or that desktop on the computer lab at the same time. I click, I give you a mouse, you click, isn't it? So that's a single user operating system. Then you have a multi-user. Multi-user, these are operating systems that allows many users to use this system at once. Like when you go to banks, they usually operate a single system. So it means that we have one centralized server that this computers connects to it so that many users can use that single system. So when it comes to server systems, like for example, in the evening, okay, you'll be doing a cut, isn't it? So all of you are accessing that Windows, all of you will be accessing that operating system concurrently. So that's a multi-user operating system. I think that explanation is enough. So we can categorize OS depending on the user interface. We have those that use command line. Don't know if I can, let me just Okay, yeah, we have a operating system that use commands on a terminal, isn't it? Command line user interface on a terminal, a terminal. Cannot be able to share that. Then we have those that use graphical user interface. These are windows, icons, menus, okay, to manipulate the computer system. Then you have an operating system that allow only one user at a time. Okay, these are called single user operating system. Example include your Windows that you are using on your laptop, the smartphone that you are using. Only you can operate it you. If you want someone to operate, you give that person the ownership, right? Then you have multi-user. These are server systems that enables many users to access the same operating system at the same time, right? Then let us have a look at multitasking. We have seen that we have single user and multi-user. So let us have a look what's multitasking. So multitasking is the ability of the operating system to do more than one thing at a time. So this is an improvement when it comes to third generation, fourth generation, and fifth generation. You realize that there was an introduction of multitasking where many programs can run at the same time on a single computer. So if an operating system can multitask, it enables a computer system to do several things at the same time. So like, for example, you can be having a Zoom class, right? Then you have opened some music at the background using your phone, right? Or you have also opened a WhatsApp, you are chatting in the background, or you are on Telegram or maybe Instagram at the same time. This means that you are running more than one task or more than one program at once. So this comes with what's called multitasking. Another concept is multi-user. As we mentioned, we have operating systems that support more than one user at a go. So it allows more than one user to access data on application programs at the same time. So differentiate between multitasking and multi-user in operating system. Differentiate between multitasking and multi-user concepts in operating system. That's another question that you need to have a look at that. So we have different types of software that are available in the market. We have some softwares that are written by programmers and that have been built over a long period of time. Okay, my slide is green. I don't know if it is visible from your side. Let me just check. Let me just zoom. Also, we have two types of softwares. We have two types of softwares that are available in the market. We have commercial softwares and open source softwares. We have commercial software and open source softwares. These commercial softwares are software that are sold in stores. They can be downloadable after paying for them. So you can purchase these softwares from publishers so that you can use them. Like Windows operating system is a proprietary or it's a package or it's a commercial operating system, so that it needs you to enter the license. It needs you to have a license for you to use it. So a commercial software includes needs you to purchase the software and its license. Example includes the Windows. Like we have some antivirus like Kaspersky, isn't it? It needs you to purchase the antivirus and also to have a license. We have some other application softwares like Photoshop, right? It needs to purchase that software and the license in it. Then we have open source softwares. We have open source softwares that are readily available and are free to download. We also call them as a freeware, okay? And you can also share these softwares with your users, and some are open and some maybe comes in a trial period, after which you need to pay. So we have two ways you can acquire software. You can purchase a commercial or a proprietary software, or you can afford or download an open source or a shareware or a freeware on the internet. So we have some softwares that are available on the web that they don't have copyright. Some allows you to customize these softwares and also to reshare this software. So these open source softwares are very free. These softwares are very free. You can customize them, and you can use them and also alter these kinds of software. So you can acquire a commercial software that comes with a copyright. Most of them are costly and may not be copied without permissions of the manufacturer. So you can purchase these commercial softwares through a store or a warehouse. Some comes in a DVD. Some can be delivered to you through the mail. Some can be delivered to you through a hard disk, or some can be installed to you. So maybe I can ask you, I need a response from you. Comparing a commercial software and an open software, which one is better between a commercial or a proprietary software and a freeware or an open source software? Which one is better? I want you to respond to that, between a software that you purchase and between a software that you acquire freely. Which one do you think is better when it comes to performance, when it comes to security, when it comes to support? These are some of the factors you need to consider. Also, you need to consider the cost, right? We have some software that are free. Then you have some software that you must buy and be given a license. Comes to security, between a software that is sold and a software that you access, you download freely on the internet, which one do you prefer is more secure? When it comes to support, when I give you something freely, the possibility of me giving you a support, and when I sell you something, so when you acquire software freely on the internet and someone is purchasing that software, which one will get more support from the supplier? When it comes to customization, remember we have some software that you can buy and customize. Okay. Also, we have some softwares that allows you download freely and customize with license and copyright. Which one do you prefer? Let us discuss. So through YouTube. I know I like YouTube. YouTube, I have Ososta. He's saying that I really like the computer presentation. Collins Wanyama is saying that open software is better. Polycarp Onyango saying that commercial software, Standamos, open software are better. Bruno Wamalwa, commercial software. So you need to defend yourself. Why do you go for a commercial? Why do you go for an open source? And you know some softwares that you download freely. We mentioned about security, right? Some of the software that you download freely, they come with malware, isn't it? You download the software, then the programmer has enabled that software to capture or to copy your PIN or your passwords. So we shall have a look at the computer security as the last lesson. We shall be able to discuss about viruses, spywares, and malwares. And this also is it's a risk when it comes to open source, because I can give you a software, then inside that software, I have instructed that software to transfer your M-Pesa into my M-Pesa. Or inside that software, I have instructed that software to copy your M-Pesa PIN. Or some of you usually install a software that corrupts your file, or maybe hacks your WhatsApp, your Facebook account. So these are some of the threats that comes with open source software. Although we say open source software are cheaper, right? You can customize them, right? Yeah. So yeah, a good thing have some advantages and disadvantages, of which we would like also to discuss. So commercial is secure, although it's expensive, right? So now it depends on your interest. So let me go back to Zoom. Let me see what others are saying on Zoom. I was initially on YouTube. So commercial software has many support. It's more secured. It's safe. Isaac Sindani is saying that purchase software is tested and efficient, but the free one is not safe and the scope of operation is limited. Hilary Ogada is saying that commercial software is better because freeware may be affected by viruses, hence security is not enhanced. Anthony Choto saying that commercial software is better than open source because it's secured. Commercial software is thoroughly tested. This is from Joshua Gisiri. Therefore, reduced errors, also secured. So those are some of the arguments that you should use, right? Boniface Jeremy saying that commercial software is more secure because they are highly security and high privacy. Commercial software is better compared to open source because open can be affected by virus attacks, lacks security. Open source is better, cheap and safe. Open source is freely to download what you like. Commercial is restricted. Yeah. Most of the arguments rotates about security, cost, support, and usability. Harriet Wekesa saying that commercial software is better than open source because it's more secure. I like open source, not secure. Okay, right? Yeah. So we have different types of softwares. We mentioned about operating system. We didn't mention about yeah, I think we can maybe just write types of application software. So application softwares, we have like the word processor. Word processor is used to create memos. It's used to create reports. It's used to create correspondence, minutes of a meeting. So we can use a word processor as an application processor to create, edit, format, store, print, text, and graphics. So we say that the application software, we have two categories. We have general purpose software and specific purpose application software. Like we have the desktop publisher that makes you to publish newsletters, reports, brochures, and helps in publishing. We have a spreadsheet. Most of you usually name it as Excel. You can use it to compare mortgage interest rates. You can use a spreadsheet to prepare budgets. You can use a spreadsheet to calculate your marks, isn't it? You can add the cut mark and the main exam, and then you can use a spreadsheet to grade you if it's an A, a B, a C, a D, or a supplementary. So we have other application softwares like those that can use in database, like the Microsoft Access. We use this application software to keep track of large number of related facts. So like when you do a cut on the online system, this cut is usually stored on a database. So you can use to query the data for specific information. So you can use a database to select all students who are doing a particular course, to select students who are in the hostels, to select students who are in second year. So these are functions of the database. You can use a database to store data, to update data, manipulate, retrieve, to print, and report. Let us continue. So we have some application softwares that are used in a graphic design, like Photoshop, creating a movie, right? Creating some charts. Yeah, so these are some of the software that are application software that are meant for a specific purpose. So maybe when you want to manipulate graphics, you use application software that are meant for graphics. So we have some application software that are used for presentation, like in Microsoft PowerPoint. Some of the time you'll be doing your presentation, presenting your project or your research. So we have this software that are used in a presentation. When you want maybe to sell product, when you want to demonstrate how a product works, when you want to display your presentation, use a presentation software. So we have some softwares, application software that you can use to create cartoons or art. If you want to draw, want to express ideas, you want to create a cartoon, you want to create an animation. Yeah, we have those softwares that you are used for that specific purpose. We have some softwares that are used in communication. Like when you want to communicate with friends, you have those emails, softwares, application software that are used to run social media, like WhatsApp, YouTube, okay, Telegram, Instagram. These are some of the social media, some of the tools that you can use. So we have these softwares that you can use to access data and store that in another computer in another location. And we have this software that you can use to communicate the stock exchange updates, to communicate the weather information. Like my software can tell me that today is going to be a rainy. So Grayson, you're asking what's happening. Kindly be specific to your question. Yeah. So we have those softwares that comes as a package, right? Has those softwares that comes as a package. Have those softwares that comes as a package. So you buy one software. That comes with packages like Microsoft Office. To buy Microsoft Office, you'll be able to access Microsoft Word, Publisher, PowerPoint, Excel, Access. So Office suites, these are groups of application software that are designed to work together. And you can move data between one application to another application. I can move data from Excel to Microsoft Word. Can you move data from Microsoft Word to PowerPoint? So some various application suites have the same look and feel. Like when you open Microsoft Office, you will see that the menu is usually same as the menu on Excel, the same as the menu on the Publisher, it's the same as the menu on the PowerPoint. So most of these suites usually come with the same feel. So it's better to purchase this software that comes as a package because they are cheaper when compared to when you purchase one application at one. So these Office suites are usually integrated. Like you have a software that can enable you to edit video. The same software that enables you to edit audio. The same software comes with an application that enables you to design graphic. Like most of you have Adobe. Adobe usually comes with many packages that you can use them for specific capabilities. So most of them are very easy to learn, and you can access them. So I think let me see if I don't have any other information. So that's what we have covered so far. Have been able to go through various software. So it's already 10, and now having in mind that you have a cut at from 5 to 7. Some of you are able to do the mock during the weekend. Some of you didn't. Oh, that's okay. So remember, from 5 to 7, we have a cut 1 for KUC 112. So don't forget that. Yeah, usiende kutembea na girlfriend na boyfriend kasahau kuwa kuna cut jioni. We have put that cut in the evening so that during this normal hours we have a class, and also we don't we want you to do that cut at that period so that there's less traffic, and you see that everything will work well. So after this, we are going back to the e-learning. Let me just take you to the e-learning, and also let me, you can unmute if you have any question. You can unmute and talk. If you have any question, unmute and talk. The cut is fully online. Those who did the cut on Saturday. For those who did the cut on Saturday, you have the experience on how it should be. So the cut will cover what we have not done today. The cut's all about computer generation. The cut's all about computer hardware. So I think, let me check on that. Let me check on that course. And do that cut if you have registered this course. Najua nisienda hapa nipate mtu wa computer science ama mtu wa IT anafanya hiyo cut. That would be an examination malpractice. Do that cut if you are doing KUC 112. Ukipatikana unafanya cut yet you are not doing KUC 112, disciplinary actions will be taken to you. I don't know if this EDA and EDS and EDE, EDS and EDE, are you doing KUC 112? Let me just know that. EDA, EDE, EDE, and EDS. Are you doing KUC 112? Have you registered that course on your student portal? If not, please don't attempt. Usijaribu kufanya hiyo cut. That will be an examination malpractice. Why should you do a cut that you have not registered for? EDA and EDS. Ndio mnafanya to create unnecessary tension. So let me just have a look. So don't do that cut if you are not doing KUC 112. You do that cut if you are not doing KUC 112. Tomorrow we are going to publish a list for those who have done examination malpractice, and you can be sent home for doing that. Unajua ni kama wewe ni mtu wa wewe ni mwalimu. Wewe ni mtu wa BE, wewe ni mtu wa BCR, ama wewe ni mtu wa criminology. Ndio unaenda unafanya mtihani ya nursing. That's an exam malpractice. That's an exam offense. And you can be sent home for doing an exam that it was not meant for you. So I'm very much concerned the EDA, EDS, and EDE group. I'm very much concerned with that group. I doubt if they are doing KUC 112.
Huh?
Sasa niliamute mwanze kuongea Kikisii. I mute again. Can I mute again? Can mute again? Nilisema kama kuna swali uliza.
Mute.
So if you have any concern, you ask. Yes.
Kati itakuwa maswali ngapi?
So I'm on the e-learning. I'm just trying to check.
Cheki.
I'm trying to check.
Kati itakuwa maswali ngapi?
Mimi sijui mambo ya maswali. Maswali utakutana naye huko. But it's out of 30 marks. It's out of 30 marks. Out of 30 marks.
Nilitolea viazi kwa nini hiyo kitu yote.
Viazi gani bana?
Viazi gani?
Kama subiri kadhani ni uchafu yote kwa mwanzo.
We are learning bana. Hey.
Asikia asira.
That's not of 100.
Bana huyu.
So the cut will be out of 30 marks. That is 31. Make sure you have done it well, because it will influence your performance.
Niliweka ndani viazi nilikuwa na bambua. Sasa kuna viazi baki
Utakuwa na cut 2 ama?
Yeah, mtakuwa na cut 2 after doing before you break for Christmas.
Okay.
You'll be able to have cut 2 before you break for Christmas.
Pesa bwana.
Sio kukutesa, ni kusoma bana. Simekuja kusoma.
Ini kama tena itakuwa.
Simekuja kusoma.
No problem.
Itakuwa 30 marks pia.
The total marks itakuwa 100%.
Yeah, the cut ni 30 marks, right? Then main exam ni 70 marks. Cut. Sasa kama uko na cut 1, cut 2, the lecturer will do the average.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
So by the end you have 30 for cut, then ujipange kupata 70 for the main exam.
Hey.
Mute. Who's kicking little lecturer and big Mute.
Nyinyi ndio mnapiga kelele, si lecturer.
So I'm trying to have a look at something so that I display my screen.
Bakisha wana bundles.
I'm almost. Omera, I'm almost.
Class ijaisha. Wait.
Watu wenye wanapiga kelele, nyamaza.
So let me share my screen. Share my screen. So this is the course that all of you have enrolled into this course, including EDA, EDS, and EDE. Na tulisema you watu wa EDA, EDS, na EDE. I don't know if you are doing this course.
They are not doing.
Because most of you are doing the mock. Na hii course sijui kama iko kwa curriculum yenyu. So we say that the mock was located under topic 7, right? So let us go to topic 7 and see what happened. Under topic 7, yeah, we had the mock cut here. And that mock was 693. Were able to do that mock. Some of you ignored that, no problem. So these are some of the marks that most of you are scoring good marks. Although these marks will not affect, they are just a mock. These marks will not influence your cut marks. Then on the same section, hapo tu kwa topic week 7 under the assessment. Things under assessment hapo. Tuko na cut 1. Hapo mnaona screen. Cut itaanza from, inafaa ianze from saa 11
Mpaka saa
moja. Let me just adjust it. Inafaa ianze saa 11 mpaka saa 1, right? Yeah. And you will do this cut for 40 minutes. So after 40 minutes will be done. Then you go and do your thing. So tuko na hii cut inaanza saa 11 mpaka saa 1. So hii cut itakuwa available from saa 11 mpaka saa 1. But within this period, you can do this cut for 40 minutes. I think that's clear. And Odell office will be open. Odell office will be open. For those who have maybe challenges during the cut, Odell office will be open. Maybe mutapanic, musahau ma password. Okay. Odell office will be open to support you during this important session. So na mtu anauliza ati cut itakuwa from which topic? I have said the cut will cover computer generations and hardware.
Wow.
Right? The cut will cover computer generations and hardware. Then let me have a look at it again. Then next week we shall be able to cover data communication. Next week we shall be able to cover data communication. Where we shall be able, let me have a look at it. Yes, next week we shall be able to cover data processing. That's topic 5. So go through topic 5 so that when we meet next week, we shall just discuss the way we have discussed today. And also topic 5. Na enda usome pia topic 8. Una topic 5. Topic 5 is all about let me check again. Topic 5 is all about data processing, and topic 8 is all about data communication. So go through this so that when we meet next week, we cover these 2 units very quickly. We cover these 2 units very quickly. Then, yeah, so next week, go through data communication and data processing. Data communication and data processing. We call it the end of today. We call it the end. We started from 8:10 up to 10. Those are 2 hours. We have been online for 2 hours. So thank you for your attendance. Thank you for your participation, and have a beautiful Monday. So the cut is already there. You can see, you can go to the e-learning and make sure you have cut 1 there. And ipange soma so that usianguke mtihani. So have a nice day.